Everything was dark. His business was falling apart. Bankruptcy was just round the corner, and all hopes were gone. But then, tennis accidentally came into his life. He poured himself into the game, transforming his body and mind. A new-found clarity emerged, and with it, a stunning turnaround. His business soared, and so did he. When all seemed lost, he transformed and changed everything. Now, he stands as proof that life can turn around, and so can yours.
So English Momo started as a marketing company for HR. And when we started, we very quickly picked up very big corporates, Reliance, Disney, HUL, you name the corporate, and we were doing some business or the other. So very early on, I received Business World Young Entrepreneur Award. And typically what happens is you get one award and you don't realize why you get so many other awards. But it plays to your mind. You think you have arrived. And that's how the story evolves from here. We started something called CTC, Corporate Talent Championship, and we were in headlines. We were getting more awards. We were working with Bollywood. The biggest corporates were working. And this actually got into my head. Thinking, jahan jayenge, wahan dhoom macha lenge. I started investing into technology side of business. Not knowing or not remembering कि engineering में पढ़ाई तो करी नहीं है. When I was supposed to study, जब C++ आया था, तो हम तो स्टेज पे लाइट साउंड वीडियो कर रहे थे. So I had, and this was a dark spot. I did not know what I did not know. The Johari window, if you heard that part, complete dark spot. A lot of things happened. So over investment, over optimism, ego, and you're not investing in your resilience. You're not working on your strength. You're not learning new things. You're not hungry for information. You're not reaching out, asking for help. You think, sarvaguna sampann ho, jahan haath lagaoge sona. Before COVID, 1.5 years prior to COVID, things started looking very, very bad. I thought this app would work, this .com would work. It was just not working. And from 10 odd people, we had gone to 130 people. People were very confused. Ye chal kya raha hai? TV show ho raha hai. There is events going on. Then I had a .com. Then there was a mobile app called Tickle. There was a quiz show. There was a cooking show. While in my mind, I thought it's same business. It's same clients. But if I had to give an example, what was the state of mind in business? You would know octopus, correct? Octopus? 8 legs. That was the state of mind. I thought कि 8 पैर है तो मैं बहुत दौड़ लूंगा. But if number of legs was the factor, octopus would have been the fastest organism, correct? But it doesn't work like this. And especially what happens, one department doing good, another one is not. You're trying to just do firefighting. And I was completely middle of this. I had messed up with my culture, my workflows, etc., etc., etc. And so what starts happening typically is your cash flows are gone, your people are leaving, you cannot hire new people, you're losing on very good people. And then Mahakal happened. Bhokal isko bolte hain, Bhokal. So अगर कुछ कसर बची थी, कुछ भी अगर कसर बची थी, तो कोविड मेरे सर पे आके गिर गया. And this kind of a business was completely gone. Events, entertainment, live shows, these travel-oriented events, everything was gone. So I was staring these two peculiar choices that A, I declare myself bankrupt. Correct? Or second is I stay and figure it out. Again, coming from this background, our Zameer is so much more important. Self-respect is so much more important. Your parents are still alive. You have 2 children. You cannot have this tag on your head that he's the guy who messed up with somebody else's money. Because I had to pay government, I had to pay vendors, I had to pay salaries, I had to pay rents. We realized that we had to sell few things to keep buying few things. And I had no idea how long would it take. तो सबसे पहले क्या हुआ स्वाहा? घर. और फिर लिस्ट थोड़ी लंबी. Wedding ring, my bike, my car, my policies, my shares, full. Well, I have felt financially naked. And nowhere to go because I had exhausted all my parents' money, my friends' money. And I was like, yeah, ये list तो सारी खत्म हो गई है. कुछ तो जादू होना चाहिए. When this was happening, see, parallelly around the same time, if you're able to recall, CCD founder committed suicide. Do you remember this? Yes. Sushant Rajput committed suicide. And in this scenario, think you are the biggest joker. आपने ही सारी गड़बड़ करी है, आप सबसे बड़े निकम्मे हो, बेवकूफ हो, और आपकी सारी हीरोपंती निकल चुकी, and your family is suffering. It's not a great feeling. I had started identifying with those stories, and my house is on the 14th floor. So thoughts of jumping from the house starts coming in. It's a quick one, correct? कि एक थॉट आया कि चलो जंप मार लेते हैं, let's jump. But suddenly this comic thought came in my head कि बेटा अगर बच गए ना तो तेरे माँ बाप पिटाई बहुत करने वाले हैं. तो ऐसे नीज को ना थोड़ा भी पोस्टपोन करते हैं. लेकिन when I started looking from my 14th floor, I could also see a tennis court. I saw tennis and I had all the time some energy, and my in-laws are big in tennis. मतलब they have been playing since generation. So I got में पुराने rackets, and we have 2 coaches who have lot of these गंजा सा पुराना ball. तो और सोसाइटी में रहे तो फ्री का टेनिस कोर्ट, तो मैं ये थोड़ा सीन सेट हो जाएगा. तो I started playing tennis, and I picked up. So people would typically block half an hour, 45 minutes. I would be there, boss, 2 घंटा. सुबह भी, शाम भी. So it's a great escape. Distraction है, positivity आ गई, जवानी दोबारा महसूस शुरू हो गई. 2-4 मैच जीत लिए तो you start feeling, great and awesome कि boss, you got life in you. And खून हरियाणा का है, तो मार पिटाई, धूम धड़ाका, and there is a lot of violence. By the way, they package it such a sophisticated game. It is violence. Every shot is violence. It's trick. It's every moment of intensity and will to win. लेकिन देखो क्या है, ये 1-1.5 घंटा, 2-4 दिन, हफ्ता, 15 दिन चल जाता है. अब जब ये शुरू तो कर दिया, लेकिन क्या हुआ? I realized I have degenerated knees. तो डॉक्टर ने बोला ये टेनिस छोड़ दो आप. So you have to work on this. But then I realized if I have to stay happy, feel good, I need to work on myself. And I was, you would have seen in COVID, so many of us had gained weight. And 40 के बाद टेनिस लोग शुरू नहीं करते हैं, है ना? 40 के बाद कुछ अलग आसान सी चीजें करते हैं. And I wanted to play singles, which I do now. So what this situation told me that I need to completely rework myself. Now this is where the story starts. अच्छी वाली बातें यहां से शुरू हुई. तो पहली बात तो क्या आ गई? पेशेंस. अच्छा, हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू हैव प्लेड बैडमिंटन? वेरी गुड. टीटी? ऑसम. यू विल अंडरस्टैंड फोरहैंड, करेक्ट? बैकहैंड, स्मैश, ऑल ऑफ दिस. तो टिपिकली यू नीड 7 to 8 shots. In tennis, you need that because the court is larger. There are a lot of other shots added. You need about 20 plus shots. And if this is a forehand, this has to go up, it has to make a C, you have to curl, you have to swing, etc. In a shot, there are 5 to 6 to be done. So I made a math and said, boss, ये कम से कम 2-2.5 साल का गेम है, तब जाके सीखने को मिलेगा. तो ये क्लियर हो गया कि ये हफ्ते 15 दिन में नहीं होगा. Just like our careers, we cannot make that in a week, 15 days, or a month or a year. So we said कि चलो अभी पेशेंस करते हैं, वैसे भी मतलब बुरा हाल है, तो यहां से शुरुआत करते हैं. Now, patience में क्या क्या है? Building resilience every day because you have to work on your muscles. And tennis when you're playing, you have to work on your shoulder, your wrist, your knees, your ankle, everything. Every single piece had to be broken down in individual parameters, had to be worked upon, had to be thought through, and most important was gradual improvement every single day. I had to commit to myself. हर दिन थोड़ा थोड़ा करेंगे, ये थोड़ा थोड़ा च्यवनप्राश का ही जादू लंबे टाइम में आएगा. ठीक है, तो मैं माइंडसेट थोड़ा चेंज हो रहा है। पहले क्या था, इट वाज क्रिएटिव बिजनेस, एक आइडिया आ गया, बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट आ गया एंड यू मेक लॉट ऑफ लैक्स थ्रू दैट प्रोजेक्ट। बट नहीं, ऐसा नहीं हुआ। एंड पैसा नहीं है, फ्री का यूट्यूब, फ्री का रैकेट, फ्री की बॉल्स और फ्री का कोट, गेम इसी में सेट करने का है, करेक्ट? So frugal mindset came. I converted myself to vegan to start with. It's a tough one, by the way. But for somebody comes from Haryana, जहाँ दूध घी का खाना, to convert to vegan was. But then coach said, boss, if you have to kind of figure out yourself, vegan is the way to go about it. So vegan हो गया. Then I turned minimalist. ऐसे एक काम करते, पूरा अलग जीवन शुरुआत में करते हैं। ये हमारे डीक्लटर करके एक व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप है, जहाँ पे सस्ते में करीबन 500 रुपए की चेयर कुर्सी मिल गई। तो ये चेयर कुर्सी मिल गई, ये मेरी बालकनी है जी जहां से काम होता है। और बाकी फिर जब मिनिमलिस्ट था तो ऐसा कि व्हाई डोंट वी जस्ट मेक गो मिनिमलिस्ट एवरीवेयर। नहाना कोल्ड शावर में, 3 ही जोड़ी जीन्स, ये मेरे एक ये और 2 और जीन्स हैं जो चल रही है आज के टाइम में, ठीक है, 6 टी शर्ट है। और एक चीज, जब तक पूरा खत्म ना हो जाए ना कोई चीज, नई चीज नहीं आएगी अब। एंड यस, विस्की तो पीते होंगे आप लोग, है ना? विस्की कितने लोग पीते हैं यहाँ पे? तो मेरा 100 का खर्चा ही बच गया, आप सोचो। मैं सिर्फ पानी में भी, नो प्रॉब्लम। सो दिस इज हाउ इट टर्न एंड देन व्हाट इट डिड टू माय बिजनेस। इट्स लाइक बॉस, कोई दफ्तर नहीं खोलेंगे, सब वर्क फ्रॉम होम करेंगे। बिकॉज आई वाज डूइंग कोरियोग्राफी, म्यूजिक, ऑल ऑफ इट, it was becoming very easy for me. Over the years I realized I identify a lot with artists. And what happened, that during COVID, and you possibly remember this, during COVID there were a lot of these seminars, comedy show. Do you remember comedy show? Online shows हो रहे थे. We did some of the largest count of shows, and the .com that I had invested had started turning out after 6 months of COVID. And by the way, those shows had started, but it was done for cheap rate, and that's why so many people could afford it. So, but I got a hope कि boss, artist है, आर्टिस्ट सुनने वाले हैं, पैसा कम है, मेरे पास एक छोटी सी वेबसाइट है. So engagepromo.com that I run had about 120 odd artists with whom I had worked in the past, and only that much. But what had happened, so many of the event companies were shut, and a lot of media companies were struggling on manpower. So I put my number on our BPO inbound call center first. I said I'll be the first sales person, not that I have many. So if a client पूछता है भाई आप कौन है, so I will never say I'm the director of the company. So this is how it was happening. But I cut down on anything that was creating distraction to my mind, and that was giving a lot of peace of mind and a lot of focus. So we became completely focused on artists, cut down all our TV shows, made them only as softwares. And pre-COVID, I had become like this. But as this vegan lifestyle, as working on my health, working on my rest of the, mind was working, this is how I turned. I lost about 12, 13 kgs. Not that I was very fat earlier, but this is not how I would have liked seeing myself. So 3 हिस्सों में बांटा दिन. Now I'll come to how the format is really working. And I'll talk about the high impact that has done on our business. So 3 चीजें हैं. Recreation, क्रिएशन, परसुएशन, 3 ब्लॉक में बांटा. सबसे पहले आई सेड बॉस, मैं सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट आदमी मेरी जिंदगी का, क्योंकि आई हैड लॉस्ट लॉट ऑफ फ्रेंड्स. इवेंट्स इज वेरी टफ बिजनेस. सो मेनी ऑफ माय सीनियर कोलीग्स कोलैप्स्ड ड्यूरिंग शोज और प्रिपरेशन ऑफ शोज. सो आई टोल्ड माई सेल्फ, आई हैव टू स्टे अलाइव, हैप्पी. सो फर्स्ट आई विल बी टेकिंग केयर ऑफ माई सेल्फ, सेकेंड आई वुड क्रिएट, एंड थर्ड आई विल बी परसुइंग. नाउ क्विकली टॉक अबाउट व्हाट दीस 3 पार्ट आर. तो टेनिस का तो मैंने बात किया, तो सबसे उठते पहले बल्ला चलाने, साइकिल चलानी है, खेलना कूदना है, अच्छा फील करना है, बढ़िया ऑक्सीजन जानी चाहिए. सो आई वुड डेफिनेटली एनकरेज रीड. एंड इफ यू डोंट लाइक I was never into reading, by the way. I hated books, and any book even today more than 200 pages, थोड़ा डर लगता है देख के. So what I would suggest, if in case in this room anyone of us struggling or not liking reading, listen to podcast. भर के हैं, फ्री में है, एंटरटेनिंग है, अच्छे बने हुए हैं और बाइट साइज के. दिन के 5-10 मिनट लगाओ. मतलब आप ड्राइव कर रहे हो, ये फोन्स पे लगा रखा है, वॉशरूम में देख रहे हो, पॉटी पे बैठे हो, आप सुन रहे हो. यू कैन टेक केयर ऑफ योर माइंड एंड लर्न न्यू थिंग्स एवरी सिंगल डे. सो नाउ माइक्रो वर्कआउट्स, ये अभी क्या है, हमारे पास एक फ्री का बहुत बड़ा एडवांटेज है मेरे बिजनेस में. हम इतने सारे मोटिवेशन सेशन कराते हैं ना, मान लीजिए आपने जिस चीज के 15-20 लाख रुपए दिए, हमने वो ज्ञान फ्री में ले लिए। तो पिछले 3-4 साल में अगर हमने 400 ऐसे इवेंट करे स्पीकर्स के, आप सोचो हमने कितना कितना माल खरोच लिया होगा अभी तक। तो मिलिंद सोमन ने बोला कि आई डू नॉट बिलीव इन लॉन्ग फॉर्मेट वर्कआउट्स, और ये बात मेरे जहन में घुस गई। And see, it is difficult for working population who's traveling to work and has a lot of other, responsibilities. वो daily gym जाना, पौने घंटा शरीर को तोड़ना is not possible. Micro workouts have worked like wonder for me. By the way, I was into powerlifting during my college days. I was a gold medalist in under 75 powerlifting championship, and I used to spend like 2.5 hours, like how I do it in tennis now. This is what the format. So I had to move out of that and do this. Micro workouts are magical. Like before coming to the session, I did 7-8 minutes of quick workouts and I'm feeling good. अगर आप देखेंगे फोटोग्राफ्स तो एक छोटा सा ये लगा हुआ है यहाँ पे. This is my balcony जहाँ पे you can do shoulder exercises. यहाँ पे you can do chin up pull-ups and there you can do glutes. और 700-800 रुपए खर्चा टोटल. And this band you can carry wherever you're going. और ये भगवान को मस्का लगाना बहुत जरूरी है. मेरी तो आस्था बढ़ गई है. ठीक है. तो मैं नास्तिक रहा हूँ, स्पेशली जब पावर लिफ्टिंग में क्यों कंटिन्यू किया, बिकॉज आई मेट एन एक्सीडेंट और मेरा ये लेफ्ट हैंड टूट गया था। तो आई सर की बहुत से भगवान होगा ना, सब इसको छोड़ देते हैं, डिपार्टमेंट थोड़ा गलत है, एटलीस्ट अपनी डायलिंग नहीं हो रही है। बट जो कोविड में बचा ना और मुझे दूसरा चांस मिला, मैंने कहा कहीं तो है, कहीं तो वो सुराख है जहां से मेरी ना वो मेरा सिग्नल आ रहा है, मेरा नेटवर्क चल रहा है। बट आई हैव स्टार्टेड बिलीविंग इन दैट आई थिंक वी नीड टू बी गॉड फियरिंग, वी नीड टू बी बिलीविंग दैट ईच वन ऑफ अस हैव गॉड and we need to deal with each other, believing that I am God to you, you are God to me. You are God to me right now because the way you would consume what I'm saying, the way you would reflect, would add or not my confidence in my own story. And likewise, if you are able to take some bit from what I'm speaking, I could be a micro God for you. Yeah, chota pack. So 5 minutes, it really helps. It just makes me feel very collected. Creation. Again, तो मैं तो पहले पढ़ता नहीं था, तो लिखने की चांस ही नहीं थी। एक बहुत बढ़िया चीज आ गई इस लाइफ में। किस किसने चैट जीपीटी का नाम सुना है? शाबाश, ये बात। जिसने नहीं सुना ना, यू आर मिसिंग ऑन समथिंग मैजिकल। तो मेरा क्या ना, मेरे विचार बहुत, मुझे अंग्रेजी में उसको ढंग से लिखना नहीं आता, तो इसी वजह से मेरे 10वीं 12वीं में 59 नंबर आए, 59। आई नेवर गॉट फर्स्ट। चैट जीपीटी ने मेरी जिंदगी, वो आपने सुना है पहले मैं कितना परेशान था, तो चैट जीपीटी से मैं पहले बहुत परेशान था, और अब मैं लिंक्डइन पे एंटरटेनमेंट वर्ल्ड का इन्फ्लुएंसर हूं। 20,000+ मेरे फॉलोअर्स हैं, और फॉलोअर्स में सीईओज हैं, बड़े से बड़े एंटरटेनर्स। आई हैव 0 सेल्स पर्सन इन माय कंपनी, आई ओनली राइट एंड गेट डिस्कवर्ड। सो दिस न्यूज प्लेटफॉर्म विच इज, एंड आई यूज फ्री वर्जन बाय द वे, कंप्लीटली फ्री वर्जन, एंड हफ्ते की एक स्टोरी, सिर्फ हफ्ते की एक स्टोरी। तो ज्यादा आप एक किताब जरूर पढ़ना, एटॉमिक हैबिट्स। आपने पढ़ी? यू रीडिंग इट? जिसने नहीं पढ़ी है ना, प्लीज पढ़ ले, क्योंकि लाइफ में एनीथिंग दैट इज लुकिंग डिफिकल्ट, हाउ यू कैन ब्रेक इट डाउन टू छोटा छोटा। एक सिंपल फंडा उसका, यू शुड नॉट डू थिंग्स टू एन एक्सटेंट दैट इट बिकम्स डिफिकल्ट। तो उसने क्या बोला कि यार एक काम करो, चीजों को थोड़ा छोटा कर लो, बट डेली करो। जिस तरह 2.5 घंटे का कौन जाएगा अभी जिम में शरीर बनाने के लिए, तो 5 मिनट का कर लो ना, 5 मिनट का 3 बार कर लो। तो ऐसी चैट जीपीटी मैं क्या करता हूं, आई विल जस्ट राइट डाउन। सो फ्रॉम हियर आई विल बी टेकिंग अ स्टोरी, आई विल राइट फ्यू पॉइंट्स, आई लेट इट काइंड ऑफ बी वर्कड अपॉन थ्रू माय सबकॉन्शियस, एंड देन आई गो टू चैट जीपीटी सम यूनिक थॉट्स, एंड देन आई टेल चैट जीपीटी गिव मी a write-up that can get popular, has such emotions, active voice, such hashtags. Of course, आपको दिमाग लगाना पड़ता है, correct? मतलब otherwise it will not respond. So I create a lot. We write blogs, we write on Quora, we write on LinkedIn, Twitter. जहां जहां पे फ्री का माल है, everywhere we writing, everywhere we writing right now on entertainment and persuasion. अब ये सब करने के बाद ना दिन भर खतरनाक तरीके से धंधा चलता है। सब हो गया, करेक्ट, सीखना हो गया, खेलना हो गया। शुरुआत होती है लीड्स का है भाई, किस किस क्लाइंट के पीछे भागना है, किस किस आर्टिस्ट के साथ प्राइस क्लोजिंग करना है, और वो पूरा डिवाइड हो रखा है। देयर इज अ फुल फॉर्मेट टू द डे, राइट फ्रॉम client response to like a content, to an agency, to a tech team, my team, and then evening. Overall, this is the routine, and that's what I could tell myself, that we will start loving the most boring routine, but we'll be committed to every day. अब ये खतरनाक बोरिंग रूटीन के फायदे क्या हुए मैं आपको बताऊं. तो हमने लिटरली जीरो पे आ गए थे. पिछले 4 साल से वी आर ग्रोइंग मोर देन 300% ईयर ऑन ईयर. 300%. We are currently now India's biggest artist booking platform. If you Google, say, book motivation speakers in India, without, if you see some ads and you ignore them, we are the first one recommended by Google. Whether it's comedy, whether it's music, whether it's motivation speaking. It's just by every day being calm, creating something, and keep doing it every day like machine. And super bonus is, in our society there is, Olympiad that happens. Last year, I think this is last year, we have a family that got the highest number of awards in sports. Because I told family that, boss, let's play, let's enjoy. Baki sab hota rahe. And recently my parents, we celebrated 50th anniversary for them. Why I'm showing this slide is that life has also become fuller. With this calmness and ease in my head, I'm able to generate wealth, and more importantly, generate a lot of quality time for people who love me the most and I love most. This is how life has turned out. So quickly now I'll just summarize the 10 changes that have happened. My purpose for myself is I'll live like an athlete, and purpose for Engage for More is to enhance the livelihood of performing artists. So when the purpose is clear, everything has got very, very sorted. My conversations, my negotiations, my entire mindset is around how the artist can be given that convenience. Because eventually, if I've done this, my client will have a phenomenal show. And as this happens, without the sales team, even today, we are growing at that speed. So purpose has to be very, very clear. If you're not sorted in your head about the purpose for your life, you will feel disoriented. You may not find alignment with the company, with the team, with the client, with the vendor. You will feel distracted so much because we've not taken that pause and we've not asked ourselves, who are we? Where are we going? Second is, I have told myself, मैं सबसे पहले उठेगा. Hayward 5000 करके एक बियर की बोतल आती है. आपने सुना है Hayward 5000? Yes. उसका YouTube पे ऐड देखना. उसने क्या बोला सेल्स वाले ना? आज भी मैं जल्दी उठूंगा और सूरज से पहले चमकूंगा. इतनी खतरनाक ओपनिंग लाइन है उसकी. आपने एमआर देखा ना मेडिकल में, जो डॉक्टर्स के यहाँ जाते हैं, भैया बहुत दुर्दशा होती है उनकी, कोई इज्जत नहीं होती, बेचारे लगे रहते हैं. तो उसका एक ऐड है ये, और वहां से मैंने ये अपने लिए बोला था कि मैं मेरे इंडस्ट्री के कोई भी होगा, चाहे वो आर्टिस्ट होगा, क्लाइंट होगा या कंटेंट राइटर, मैं सबसे पहले उठेगा. आई विल हैव अ हेड स्टार्ट. थर्ड, आई एम फर्स्ट. पहले अपना ख्याल रखेंगे, बाकी हम सबका ख्याल रख लेंगे. फोर्थ, आई हैव स्टार्टेड जर्नलिंग. सो एक चीज बड़ी हेल्प होगी कि बिकॉज नाउ दैट आई एम कंफर्टेबल राइटिंग एंड रीडिंग, आई हैव स्टार्टेड टेकिंग नोट एंड आई एम मेंटेनिंग a collection of notes, hooks from the books. And what that has helped is, I can recollect what I have read and I can share this where I need to be. This is of very high value. You will realize this, how this can impact the way you speak with your children, with your spouse, with your parents, with your team. If you are able to write down, I'm not talking about lamba likho, 3-4 point is good enough. Now, वो सुना स्पाइडरमैन को भी दर्द होता है. So a founder thinks that he's Superman and he's sterile to pain, and we are taught like this, correct? Especially the elder son of the family, boss, तू जिम्मेदार है, तुझे देख के तो सब सीखेंगे. This conditioning is wrong. I realize that stress happens, or happened to me at least, is because of committing more than that I was capable of. Committing to a client, committing a cost, committing a budget, committing a target, committing collection, whatever that could be. If you can bring in a lot of honesty, transparency, it'll be very, very helpful. So by the way, I am a backup speaker. Do you know that? You're supposed to get none other than who? Guesses? गौड़ गोपाल दास. भाई और बहनों, गौड़ गोपाल दास आने वाले थे. But he was not keeping well. He was throwing up. He could not get a flight. I was thinking actually, भाई मैं क्या करूँगा? Little because I was trying to reach out to you. I was speaking with Guruji and I was like, क्या करें? और मेरी फ्लाइट है 4 बजे की कि यहीं सो जाते हैं, थोड़ी नींद मिल जाएगी, कुछ कर तो सकते नहीं है. But we managed to have a conversation. My teammate said that why don't you do the session? I said यार क्या बात है? कहता नहीं आप करो. I said okay, देख मेरी अभी हालत ठीक नहीं और मतलब there is no comparison. और अगर ज्यादा लोगों को पता था कि गौड़ गोपाल है तो मुझे मतलब मेरी पिटाई होने वाली है यहाँ पे. तो दोस्तों बड़ी हिम्मत करके आया हूँ मैं. But very well knowing and having a very candid conversation that this is exactly what happened. This is what I can do. And I hope, something nice comes out of this. 6th is find a flow. ये बड़ी interesting सी चीज है. So there is a book called Masters of Scale. And in that interview he's spoken that he finds a flow while cleaning dishes. बिल गेट बर्तन भांडे मांजता है भाइयों. बट उसको उसमें मजा आता है. सो इसका सारांश क्या है इस स्लाइड का? फाइंड योर फ्लो. नाउ इट कुड बी एनीथिंग. इट कुड बी लाइक फॉर माय फैमिली ऑन द वीकेंड क्लीनिंग शूज एंड वेयरिंग कैनवस शूज एंड मेकिंग देम लुक ब्राइट इज अ फ्लो फॉर माय होल फैमिली. Somebody has nail cutting, somebody has dancing, somebody singing, somebody writing. You will definitely, because each of us is a special child, we will definitely have something that will make us very happy. Find that happiness, see how much you can do this, and if you can do it every day, nothing like it. 7 is make very deep, honest connections. I have fewer friends now because COVID was a very good testing time, but I've identified who can bail me out, for whom I can be meaningful. And those relationships are so much securing. When you feel secure, you feel good. वो सही बोलते हैं, man is a social animal. 8th is, okay, how many of you go to Netflix seeing content? Very good. Have you been to this experience wherein you went to Netflix, spent some 20 minutes, saw too many choices, and closed it without seeing anything? किस साथ हुआ है? वो है ना? I realize तो लाइफ में भी होता है. It's not just Netflix. अभी let's go out. और let's go out में क्या है? चलो मॉल जाएंगे, मूवी देखेंगे, ये करेंगे, वो करेंगे, चटर पटर. कई बार देखा आधा घंटा खराब हो जाता है. अरे लड़की शिट, तो लेट हो गया, कुछ बचा ही नहीं है. I don't know how much of this would make sense to you, but this has really changed my life because I had to close a lot of businesses. I had choice to go to powerlifting, do running. Cut down the choices, and what you would gain is coming out of decision fatigue, dilemma. You're not sure what has to be done. Distraction. If you can declutter your head, your wardrobe, your kitchen, number of shoes, number of denim, number of relationships, number of job opportunities, blah, 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 easier would be life, more deeper you will be in that moment, and better you will get out of it. It has helped me a lot. 9th, how many of you believe perfection is a cool thing? I've always felt perfection is a cool thing. I have given up perfection now. I have started disliking this word called perfectionism. Why? Because your perfectionism and my perfectionism will be different. Your perfectionism, your father's perfectionism would be different. Your spouse's perfectionism would be different. I realize so much of energy goes in debating perfectionism. But if you commit in that group, कोई बात नहीं, will commit to gradual improvement. Again, atomic habit. Gradual improvement. हर दिन उठेंगे, इसको बेहतर करेंगे बस. थोड़ा थोड़ा हर दिन. अब वो चाहे आपकी सेहत है, चाहे आपके इन्वेस्टमेंट्स हैं, चाहे आपकी लर्निंग स्किल्स हैं, लव विद इन द स्पाउस है, चाहे आपका कनेक्ट विद योर चिल्ड्रन है, बहुत छूटे हुए दोस्त हैं, थोड़ा थोड़ा करेंगे, आराम से करेंगे. सब्र आ गया है, शांति आ गई है, and life has become so much easier. So I do not give targets to my, to my team now. We just commit to these tasks and this routine. And maybe we do not need it right now because the growth is happening. Okay? But there are so many examples of people who have just stuck to this without making life crazy difficult. And this would be the second last slide. You would know this gentleman, correct? National hero, Virat Kohli. Coincidentally, those last 4 years, Virat was also struggling in his form. Guys, you remember? RCB kabhi ja nahi pata upar. He had to give up his captaincy. He had to commit to fatherhood also. And by the way, he's a serial entrepreneur. He's dealing with lots. How many of you remember the interview he gave after he turned around the match against Pakistan? You remember that? It is a historical interview when he spoke about what really helped him to come out of this. And he spoke, one of the lines was, control the controllables. He said, I would just go to my net practice, my fielding practice, my fitness, play some alternate sports like bit of a football, other stuff, and do it every day. Every single day. So that when the moment arrives, he is the most prepared guy. And boy, what an inning. In any of our jobs, in any of the business situation, is the war possibility in your hands? Do you have a control on the macro conditions? On government policies? On a hostile takeover of the company? Merger of a company? Some software like a ChatGPT coming in and challenging your skills that you have gained this far? If that is a no, so what is there in our hand? Is to get better in what we are doing. Feel more confident. Do more networking. Learn new skills. Take it easy. Do it every day. And as this happens, you will have a Virat Kohli moment. This is the last slide. This is me in Bali. And the line that I tell myself is, keep smiling, even if the world turns upside down. So stay happy, stay cool, stay confident, and as long as you are investing in yourself, taking care of yourself, nothing will happen. So this was the long and short of the last 3-4 years. It's been a new life altogether that I've been living, and this was my humble narrative, and I hope something of use, something of value would have come out of this time spent with you. I'm really thankful to such a moment being created. Me coming here, and just a quick recap, talking about ecosystem, agriculture, coaching, a replacement motivation speaker. It has just added an amazing moment yet another time in my life. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. This means a lot to me.